What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and to another WNBA video. We have ourselves a two-game slate to dive into for Monday, July 14th. So I'm going to break down and analyze each of those games. I'm going to talk about which way that I'm leaning as far as the points and the spread. And when it's all said and done, make sure you check down there into the pin comment. You'll find a link down there that's going to send you over to the Guy Boston Sports website. That's where all of my final plays for these games are going to live for free. But before we dive into those games, let's go ahead and jump over there to the website. We need to take a look back at Sunday, see what we took and how that ended up going down. And on Sunday, we put out 8 plays, and we do end up splitting on the day 4 and 4. We took the Dream and the Liberty an alternate total over 162.5, and they land underneath that line. Took Brittany Griner over 9.5 points, and we cash on that one. But I'm not going to lie, man, that was a frustrating cash watching that game and watching her specifically try to get up over those 9.5 points. Missed free throws, missed bunnies, just at times looking clueless out there, man. So glad to cash that one, but really was questioning it at times in that game. We took a same game parlay. Shakira Austin 10 plus points, Sonia Citron 10 plus points, and Kiki Iriafen 6 plus rebounds. Now, guys, you know it wouldn't be a day betting in the WNBA if I didn't lose a bet on the hook, right? We know that Kiki cashed, Sonia cashes, and Shakira lands right at 9 points, so we lose that one on the hook. Took Natasha Howard over 5.5 rebounds. She lands at, I think, 2 on this one. Doesn't come close to that one, so just a bad read on that one there. Derek Hamby over 18.5 points plus assists, and she does cash for us there. Took the Dream plus 6.5, man. They lose by 7. We lose 2 bets on the hook today. And then we took the Sun in the first half plus 6.5. We cashed on that one. Took Sanaya Rivers. We took her over 14.5 points plus rebounds and assists. There was a 15.5 out there for a better payout, man. Definitely should have took that because she had herself a game. I think she was 1 point, rebound, or assist away from cashing this in the first half. So yeah, man, had a great game over there for the Sun. Like I said, we finished 4 and 4 on the day. We don't really lose any money. We don't really make any money. We just kind of stay right where we're at. Let's go ahead and try to make a little bit of money today, guys. Let's find some value on the board. 2 games to go through. Smash that like button down there for me if you can. Hit subscribe if you have not already. Let's get into the mix, man. We got an 8 p.m. tip-off time for our first game. Going to be the Minnesota Lynx taking on the Chicago Sky. Lynx are 10.5 point favorites. Total sitting at 161.5. And we got ourselves another grudge match here in the WNBA, man. These two just met here on Sunday, right here in Chicago. And it was the Sky coming away with an 87-81 upset win. Now, the Sky have improved to 7 and 13 straight up on the year. They are 12 and 8 against the spread. They've won 4 of their last 7, but most impressively, they have covered in 8 straight games now. Their win Saturday over the Lynx was their first win against a team with a winning record on the year, and who better to get that first dub over than the team that sits at the top of the standings and has been to this point of the year the best team in the WNBA. So good win for the Sky all around. Minnesota is 18 and 4 on the year. They are 12 and 11 to the number. They've gone just 1 and 2 to begin this 4-game road trip, but they have won 4 of their last 6. They've been dealt a pretty bad hand situationally as of late. They came into that game with the Sky on Saturday off of 2 straight back-to-backs. They're also playing their 5th game in 7 days. Now, only 1 day off here from that last meeting, so it's not like they've had a ton of time to rest from this grueling stretch that they've been on here before the All-Star break, but Chicago has only played 1 less game in that same time span, so I'm not sure how much of an advantage that they truly have over the Lynx in this aspect as well. Chicago does have a back-to-back in that mix as well. Not 2 back-to-backs like the Lynx, but they did play a back-to-back also. Chicago does have the advantage on the glass looking at these teams, on the season as a whole, and then head-to-head with the Lynx as well through the 2 games that they played so far. They've averaged 45 rebounds per game to just 32 a game from the Lynx in the 2 head-to-head matches this year. They out-rebounded the Lynx by 17 on Saturday. They outscored the Lynx as well in the paint 44-28, and we did see another subpar shooting night from most of the starting 5. Outside of Kayla McBride, she knocked in 5 of 12 from deep, but the rest of the Lynx starters went just 2 of 15. Despite winning the turnover battle 19-10, the Lynx never held a lead in that game. They trailed by as many as 15 as well. So here's the thing, man. Looking at this, I'm really impressed with the Chicago team. I'm beginning to really believe that they can make a push for that 8th and final playoff seed. Most likely battling it out with the Aces and the Mystics at the end of the year for that spot. Now they're young, right? They have a first-year head coach, and they had a pretty significant makeover to their roster in the offseason, but it's all starting to finally come together. This team's finding their groove a little bit, man. But I'm not going to put the blinders on to this situation that we have at hand here. You know what I mean? This is still the Lynx. No, the Sky don't have some like secret recipe for success against them. They don't have their number. just because they beat them the last time out. And, they did play them, pretty tough in that first game around as well. Do they match up well with this team? Absolutely. The Sky can give Minnesota trouble in the paint without a doubt, but at the end of the day, man, Minnesota is still the best team in the W on both ends of the court, right? The Lynx sit at first across the board for offensive, defensive, and net rating. And the Sky, although they are sitting at fifth for offensive and defensive rating, fourth for net rating in their last five, I can't ignore what we've seen from the Lynx so far following a loss this season. Now, including that Commissioner's Cup Finals loss, this is a team that, after each of their four previous losses this season, they've not only gone 4-0 outright, but also against the spread. And they've won those games by an average of a little over 13 points per game. Now, it's hard to fade the Sky right now, with how that well that they've been playing. But this is a Lynx spot, man. I can't see it any other way. Chicago simply just brought more energy to the court on Saturday, man. They pounced on these Lynx early, and I just don't think that we see the Lynx come out lackadaisical in this one, man. It's been an issue for them this season for sure. Slow starts, poor effort early at times even. But this Sky team has shown twice now that that's not a route that Minnesota wants to take if they want to win this game. So I think that we see a much better effort early from them, and they take control from the jump and they never look back. If not, you're going to see a lot of Coach Reeve timeouts early and often. She's going to be on the sideline chewing that team out, man. So I definitely think that Minnesota rolls in this one. And like I said, they get control of this game early and they don't really look back. For the total, the Lynx are the slowest team in the W, and they have hit under in 13 of the 23 games that they've played this season, but they have gone over in two straight in 5 of their last 8 now. The Sky have hit to the over in 11 of 20 games this season, 6 of their last 9, with only 2 hitting over and 1 of those landing as a push. Head to head, we've seen an under to open up the year and then an over on Saturday. I think that we see the Minnesota defense really step up in this one, though. Like I said, which that, is what led to me being on the Minnesota side to begin with, and that has me looking at an under here as well in this game. Next up, we're going to be looking at the 10 p.m. tip-off game between the Phoenix Mercury, Golden State Valkyries. Valkyries laying 1.5 in this one. Total opened up at 161.5, quickly bought down to 158.5. It's going to be the second head-to-head meeting between these two. The first one resulted in a 9-point Mercury win in Phoenix. Now, the Valkyries are going to play host for this one, though, back home after a 4-game road trip that saw them just go 1-3 straight up. Now, on the year, they sit at 10-10. They are 13-7 to the number. The Mercury do bring in the second best record in the W, 14-6, and they have gone 12-8 against the spread this season. Valkyries have been a really good team at home, though, man. 7-3 straight up, 8-2 to the number. The Mercury are just 4-4 against the spread on the road, but they do sit at 5-3 straight up. Phoenix comes in winners of 2 straight and 8 of their last 10. They're going to have a 3-day rest advantage over Golden State here as well. Now, looking at these two in their last 5, it's interesting to say the least, man. The Valkyries are coming in at third for net rating in that time. The Mercury second. Both opened up the year. They were really leaning into their defenses, but over their last 5, Golden State sitting at 6 for defensive rating. Phoenix just 8th, but offensively, we see the Valkyries at third, while the Mercuries are leading the W, checking in at first overall. But like I said, though, this Valkyries team playing at home this season, they've been a whole other story, man. Their last 5 at home, first for defensive rating, first for net rating as well. And that's with an offensive rating that has them sitting at 9th. So that defense at home has just been that dominant. Now, both these teams have really leaned into their outside shooting over the last 5. The Valkyries are leading the W for percentage of points scored from three-point range, while the Mercury come in at second. Phoenix also sits at second in that time span for percentage of points scored off the fast break. The Valkyries are making the most threes over the last 5 and at the 4th highest shooting percentage, while the Mercury are coming in at second in both of those regards. Phoenix in the last 5 lead the W in fast break points and points scored off of turnovers, but Golden State has been giving up just the 5th fewest points off of turnovers, and they sit at first in terms of fast break points allowed. They're in their last 5 at home. The Valkyries have held opponents to the 3rd lowest shooting percentage from deep. Phoenix, on the other hand, in their last 5 on the road, they're giving up the 2nd highest shooting percentage from outside. I want to get there with Golden State, man. And another reason why is the status of both Satu Sabali and Cockhopper, who each missed the last 2 games for Phoenix. And if neither of them can suit up here again, they're both listed on the injury report as game time decisions. It'd be really hard to look past the Valkyries in this spot, man, even with the rest disadvantage. They are home, man, so I'm gonna lean that way. But I want to know the status of 2 of Phoenix's big 3 before I make any final calls one way or the other as far as the side is concerned here. For the total, we have seen the under cash in 6 of the 10 played at home for the Valkyries this year, while the Mercury have hit to the over at a 4-3-1 clip on the road this season. Now, with both teams being so 3-point happy as of late, and the Mercury playing to the fastest pace in the W over the last 5, I'll lean over, man, but I'm not sure I get there with Golden State's defense in mind, and the fact that they play at a lot slower tempo, third to last for pace over their last 5 games. And we only have props available for the Lynx in the Sky game right now. I'm not seeing anything for the Valkyries and the Mercury. That line actually just dropped for that game, like, right before I started, getting everything together to record this video. So no props for this video here, man. I don't see anything in the Lynx Sky game that's really popping out to me that I want to jump on. There's some things that look tempting, but just not a lot of value. I did like looking at Courtney Williams, her points, rebounds, and assists. But that number's been at like 21.5 to 22.5 for quite some time, right? And she's been smoking that line. It's now up to, I think it was at 25.5, either that or 24.5. It just feels risky to me, man. You know what I mean? The books are starting to adjust. So that is going to do it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the content today. Hope you found it helpful and useful. And if you did, please do not forget to smash that like button on your way out. Hit subscribe if you have not already. And that's going to do it, man. Hope you guys all cash out and have a great night. I'm going to see you back tomorrow for the next one.